Hey guys, Jackson here from Pottsville and Cabarita Physiotherapy with a video with some home exercise ideas for people to throw into their programs to make sure that we're keeping everyone strong, fit and mobile throughout this COVID pandemic. So just a few different ideas here that you can either do all together as one workout or just things to throw into workouts that you're already doing. So it's going to be a two-part video. The first part is going to be mainly about the strength-based program, and then part two that will come out later or next week is more for our people who are awaiting return to sports season, so our athletes, and it's more about plyometrics and agility-based stuff. So keep an eye out for part two, but this is part one. So we're looking at a bit more strength, body weight, and using things around the home to try and do a few different strength exercises. So the first exercise is called a push-up with Superman. There's a few different variations of this one. So the normal one, I'll demonstrate in the video. We go into a push-up and then alternate lifting the alternate arm and leg out in front and behind us. So what we're working on is our chest strength, but then also anti-rotation stability through our trunk. So we're trying to stop how much sway from side to side there is. So I'll show you a video of this one. There's also progressions and regressions of this one. So to progress it, we'll have a narrower base of support for our legs and try and take our arm and our leg further out in front and behind us. And then regressions is back towards just doing a normal push-up or potentially trying to do a variation of this on our knees instead of on our toes. All right, I'll show you what that looks like now. The next exercise is our V-sit rotation. So this one we're working on abdominal strength and rotation strength and stability through our trunk. For this one, the progressions would be to increase the distance away from the ego with whatever weight that you're using, as well as the speed that you're going with, so either faster or slower, both can be more difficult. And then the regression to making it easier would be reduce the amount of weight that you're using and or put your feet down on the ground. Okay, so the next one's a little bit more tricky. So this is a long plank position, and then we've got targets that we're going to go for reach across with both our hands and our legs. So for this one, you want to go into a long plank, which is straight arms, and then have targets at shoulder height out to the sides and at waist height out to the sides. And then we're going to reach across with either your hand or your foot to try and hit the target while staying strong all through your trunk. Now, the progressions to make this one harder is have someone else cueing you for what one you have to do and trying to increase the speed without reducing the amount of stability that you've got through the middle. And then the easier version is then to drop down onto your knees or to go into a normal plank and pace yourself. Yes, I'll come back to you. No, I won't ask where you run under the sun. Next exercise is weighted front squats. So for this one, we've got to be a little bit creative with what you've got lying around the house. So you could use something like a pot plant or a bag of groceries that you can hold at your chest. Basically anything that adds a little bit of external weight that you can hold in front of your chest. And then we're going to go up and down into squats. And then obviously the progression is something heavier. The regression is something a little bit lighter for this one. And next one is a combination reverse lunge plus overhead shoulder press. For this one, hopefully you'll be able to use the same weight that you use for the front squats. And so it's a combined movement for this one. Again, then the progression would be just make the weight heavier, and then the regression would be to make the weight lighter and or break it into two separate movements. So potentially you might do a reverse lunge by itself and an overhead press by itself. And next one is called a shoulder walkover. And for this one, we're going to be in a plank position and have some external cue that we've got to step over the top of with our hands. So you're in a plank position, you lift your hand up and over the external cue, then bring the other one over so that we're on one side, and then step both hands back across to the other side. An easy one to use for this one is rolls of toilet paper, and then so you can easily progress or regress how difficult it is by how high the stack of toilet paper rolls is. The other progression to add onto it then is also to add a push-up each time after you've stepped over the top. The next exercise is called a bent over row. So for this one, we've got to be able to do two things. One, find two weights that are the same. So you've got one weight in each hand, and then two, be able to master the hip hinge pattern. Then once we can do that, which you'll see in the demonstration, we hip hinge, hold the weight in each hand and pull up towards our chest, and then control back down towards the floor. The next exercise is called a pike warm-up. For this one, we need to be in the plank position, walk ourselves in while keeping a single leg on the floor and lifting the other leg up towards the roof so that we're in a straight line or as close as we can from our shoulders to our foot, and then walking ourselves back out to the plank position and alternating. Progressions for this one is to lift the feet up onto a step before you go into the movement, and then try and increase or decrease the speed at which you're moving in and out. And then a regression is doing it with both feet firmly on the floor and just walking in and out with your hands. And the last one for this video is a one-legged Romanian deadlift. For this one, you want to have a soft bend in the standing leg. So you're standing on the one leg, a little bit of bend in the knee, but still relatively straight. Weight in the opposite hand, and then we're hinging forward so that that hand is going down towards the foot that's on the floor without rotating our pelvis up towards the roof. Progressions of this one is making the weight heavier. Regressions is losing the weight and or giving your arms a little bit of external support to take a bit of the pressure off the standing leg. Okay, so that's all of the exercise for the strength component of these videos that I've been talking about. So part 2, like I said, will be agility and plyometric stuff. For all of these exercises, practice the movement first and get good at it before you throw it into a workout or any kind of high intensity thing. And like I said at the start, you can either use all of these together as one workout or just pick ones that you like out of here to add the things that you're already doing. All right, good luck with it, guys.